All right, here's where I'll start out. I'm going to start out, Guru, throwing this to you after I comment on it.
Okay.
Comcast Business Text Line, 562. You'd think the Niners are 3-3 like the Raiders, the way y'all talk about the Niners. Well, you're damn right, 562, because the 49ers are a Super Bowl contender. We don't believe that the Raiders are. It's all about expectations. And we expect more, Goo.
We're reacting to the loss, their first loss on the season. So, come on now, 3-3. Come on, we're talking about a Super Bowl caliber team, and it didn't go their way, and they got had. You heard Jennifer Lee Chan keep it real. You heard JD on yesterday with us keeping it real. We just got questions, and they'll hopefully bounce back against Minnesota Monday. Nothing to see here. Conditions for Brock.
We don't know that yet.
But right now, on the season, Steiner, the greater good has superseded what we saw.
No, it hasn't.
Yes, it has.
In your
They're
mind?
5-1.
Okay.
All right, what concerns you most?
His small hands in the rain.
They'll be inside Monday in Minneapolis. Home of Prince.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of humidity in the Metrodome. So they play Hubert Humphrey Stadium.
We need to really get his hand measurements. Not that it's a big. It ain't been a big deal up until Sunday. Stop.
Charlie in San Francisco's got a question about the game. What's going on, Charlie? How you doing?
Charlie.
Yeah, pretty good. Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, listen, I think that game was all on Shanahan. On 4th and 10, we got called for that bad hit. When they did the replay, why didn't he just call a timeout? The refs could have overturned that call. And the two announcers that were doing the game said it was a clean hit. There was no helmet to helmet. His head was up. It was body to body. And we didn't. All you had to do was call a timeout, and the refs would have overturned it. Mm-hmm. And the other guy, the guy that was in L.A. that does the officiating, he even said that it was a clean hit and it was a bad call.
Yeah, but I don't think you can review that. That's why he had no. They had to do that.
No. I think the refs, if they called the timeout, the refs could have changed that because they did that in a couple of games I seen. They did it in the game last night I watched. When there was a timeout, they overchanged it. So the game could have been on Shanahan right there. It was 4th and 10. We would have had the ball, game over.
I thought the head-to-head contact penalties can't be overturned or you can't challenge it. Now, I didn't know if the way you could finagle is if you call a timeout, they'll go do it, Steiny. I don't think that's right. I could be wrong.
Well, I did notice Kyle Shanahan, and I'm surprised you didn't jump on this because did Shanahan lose his composure late in that game? Every time they showed him, he was yelling into the into the headset about something. And I know he was upset about the refs, but I don't know.
No, see, composure I get Steiner. He was involved. That's why when you brought up yesterday, maybe he was happy they lost. Nah, he was giving it his all. It was kind of like a pirate on a ship when they're battling the tides and the seas. That's what he was doing. It was chaos.
Right. And because of that, he may have lost track of not calling a timeout late in that game, of trying to push the ball 5 or 10 more yards forward.
Well, he called the 3 pass plays that we talked about with 3:12 left.
I mean, honestly, I like that.
You're okay with?
Yeah, it bothers me. Well, I should say it bothers me less than the clock management on the last drive. I don't know what he was thinking, not utilizing the assets he had with the timeouts.
That dude on YouTube says, stop blaming the refs. We're not. The caller kind of was blaming Kyle. But, Steiny, I'd like to get that rule. I don't know if Evan knows. Those head-to-head penalties, head-to-head contact cannot be challenged. And there's nothing you can do to finagle the system to make them get challenged, because I believe Kyle would have burnt that timeout because that would have been 4th down.
Well,
like, hell yeah, I'll use 2 timeouts for it.
The thing I think it's got to be viewed as very good news for the Niners. It looks like all 3 of those guys may play.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lee Chan and Matt Mayoko, both of NBC Sports Bay Area, are suggesting that it's not outside the realm of possibility McCaffrey's going to play on Monday.
And let's throw another name in there. I asked her about Greenlaw, who's supposed to be at practice tomorrow.
Which I forget what she said about him.
That he was expected to be at the next practice, so that's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think they, I agree. 650, bad call or not. 49ers didn't play well enough to win that game.
And that's why I love Bosa for saying they didn't deserve to win. I mean, you're a 10-point dog. I mean, favorite, Steiny. But that defense was impressive.
888-957-9570 is the number. 49ers dropped their first game of the season on Sunday. Outlier, or do we have some things to monitor if we're 49er fans? I said yesterday my biggest concern was Moody. I'm changing. He's my second biggest concern.
Oh, you can't take my number one concern. I want to see if you remember.
It's front line. It's the offensive line.
No, it's health.
I'm not doing health. That goes for every team.
Nah, I told you let me get away with it on Friday. Health for this Niner team. And right now, look at it.
What about it? It's no different than any other football team.
Well, health.
They go through injuries.
Yeah.
The Eagles have already had. Lesson got rolled up on. Your guy in Dallas.
Yeah, Diggs.
You can't. No, I'm not letting you do that, Goo.
Well, then you got to tell everybody that calls or types that Debo going out didn't affect the outcome of the game.
No, it did affect it. May have affected the outcome of the game, but they didn't have the depth to cover up for it.
And that's why this it looks like they avoided disaster with McCaffrey missing weeks is big, because he may not.
We'll see.
What's the stuff you get?
I have a sixth sense about one.
Toradol? When they shoot
I don't know. Don't talk about it.
You're about to have surgery. You should know. You should know how to the feel good.
First of all, start us off, Evan.
I was going to say probably something that comes out of syringe, but my question was in regards to health. I think there is a difference to someone going down mid-game and being able or not to adjust to that. Rather, like if you know you're going into the Monday Night Football game without McCaffrey, you can probably game plan a little bit better than if you're thinking you're going to get 30 touches out of 23 and then you end up getting 7.
650 on the Comcast business text line. Now the O-line is the problem. Jesus, Steiny. No, I didn't say it's the problem. I said that's the thing I'd be most worried about. Yesterday I was a little worried about Moody, because we don't know anything about this kid. Who knows what's going to happen when he kicks again?
But I'll tell you what about Moody, Steiny, that wasn't a good start. There's no way. That's not what you write home about.
9 for 9?
No, your first game winning kick.
But 9 for 9.
But you can be 19 for 19, then they're going to say, guys like you. I won't. In game winning situations, 0 for 1 for